soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force. You are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you.
75 years ago, First Army shouldered the daunting task of commanding all American ground and airborne forces during the invasion of Normandy. The mission would become the most iconic military feat in modern memory, and a greatest generation would be born. They would storm beaches, scale cliffs, and parachute behind enemy lines in order to break the Nazi war machine, changing the course of human history.
Oh, there was lots of ships. There's big ships back out here in the channel firing over top of us, and big guns, and the Germans are firing the other way. And the airplanes, the air is full of planes. There's confusion, complete confusion.
With 5,000 ships, 13,000 aircraft, and more than 160,000 Allied troops, an assault began on 50 miles of French coastline. Young men from Mississippi river towns in Iowa, from the hills of Kentucky, from cities like Chicago and everywhere else across America, answered their nation's call. General Omar Bradley, First Army commander, was the architect of the D-Day plan. As an armada of landing craft moved into the English Channel, he tasked paratroopers with the first phase of the assault. The carnage was horrific. Some units would have death tolls of more than 40%.
They were thrown all over the place at night, and oh man, that was a disaster. But we didn't know where we were or anything. A lot of them, and that's generals, colonels, you name them. Average guy, GI, and the Germans couldn't figure out what we were doing because we didn't even know what we were doing. So that helped in one way.
I landed through a greenhouse coming down, and my satchel broke the hole when I hit the glass in the greenhouse, and it saved me from getting all scratched up and everything. Well, then I took the lanyard off my leg. I knew I could hear firing over in the churchyard, and I knew that I had to get out and get in the action.
As paratroopers battled inland, American troops began the hellish assault onto Omaha Beach. Bradley rallied his men as they departed for the shoreline with a simple promise.
I'll see you on the beaches.
A First Army patch on his left shoulder, Private Jack Baker waded through waist-deep water. The Kentucky country boy who bragged he'd never lost a fistfight was now in the battle of his life.
The ship went in until it hit the ground, and that front went down, and I went right over behind the tank.
The conflict at Normandy would come at heartbreaking cost. Some 37,000 Allies would die in just over a month before advancing west. Al Mampre, a tough city kid, would fight in Operation Market Garden, an attempt to create a foothold into northern Germany through the Netherlands. He served with the famed 101st Airborne ZZ Company, with a band of brothers.
When I jumped into Holland, somebody came through my chute about 75 feet off the ground. And he landed on top of me. He says, "Where's the enemy?" I said, "You're standing on him." Hey, if I had a gun, I think I'd have shot him. I said, "Don't worry about the enemy, go." Blue smoke over there in the woods.
First Army and its battle-tested troops drove toward Berlin, weakening a German war machine once thought unbeatable. Through Saint-Lô, the Cherbourg Peninsula, the capture of Paris, and the Battle of the Bulge, the tide of the war turned. Less than a year after Normandy, the Germans surrendered. American troops returned home, proud of their victory, but uncomfortable with the mantle of hero.
I don't think there are any such thing as heroes. I think people who are mission-oriented have a job to do. That's what they're going to concentrate on, and that's what they're going to accomplish.
Today, we honor our D-Day veterans. Henry Langrehr is here with us in First Army headquarters at Rock Island Arsenal, among the soldiers of the very unit that issued his D-Day orders. Jack Baker wore his First Army hat and windbreaker at his home in Virginia, as he has every day since he received it from First Army's modern-day commander. And Al Mampre had planned to return to Normandy, to stand on the windswept shores where so many paid the ultimate price. He died at the age of 97, just days before the trip. President Calvin Coolidge once said that a nation which forgets its defenders will itself be forgotten. We at First Army do not forget. Not today, 75 years later, not ever.